and welcome to our first edition of Curbside Conversations. I'm Heather Abear with Keller Realty, and I'm here with one of my great neighbors, Meritt Brown. And I just thought during this time when we have to be inside and we're all learning a new way of life, we're juggling new things, so I thought it would be a great time for us to talk about all the skills and the talents that my neighbors have, and maybe their skills and talents can help each other in this crazy time that we're living in. So our first topic is going to be something that I know a lot of us are trying to juggle probably for the first time, and that is homeschooling. And so that's where Meritt comes in. Meritt is our homeschooling guru in our great neighborhood, and so I just wanted to talk to her about some of the things she does and some of the tips that she has that can maybe make this not so daunting for many of us that have school-age children. So, Meritt, first of all, thanks for coming by.
Well, thank you.
And tell me how many children you have and how old are they?
I have 3 kids, and they are 7 in second grade, 6 in kindergarten, and 5 in preschool.
Okay. And so, what really made you get an interest in homeschooling?
Trying to keep my sanity
Right?
throughout the summer, especially just having activities to do with them, engaging with them.
Right. And not just having them maybe on iPads or doing nothing, right? Or coloring gets kind of old after a while, just
Yes.
having new, fresh ideas. So, tell us, I guess, whenever you're planning for the week, how do you do that? How do you plan your topics?
Well, I try to plan on Sundays, and I go through some of their old schoolwork, because they each have a little filing cabinet, and so I try to just pick something that they've already learned or they may not know too much about, and just go further in depth into that subject. And then I sort of moderate it for the younger kids. So if second graders doing presidents, he may get a little bit more writing work or a quiz or something, and then the other kids can do different activity.
Right. So you might pick one topic, but you make it right for each child's level of understanding. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So can you show us some of the resources that you use?
Sure. So
How do you start the day?
So we start the day with, well, they eat breakfast, get dressed, brush their teeth, just like a normal day,
Okay.
make their bed.
So that's important to keep them. Do you feel like that puts their mindset right for school? They know, okay, we're up, we're ready, we're
Yes,
dressed.
because they know not to turn the TV on,
Yeah.
or they can't play the Switch or do anything,
Right.
because it's still a school day.
Got it. Okay.
So they do all that, and then we go into our living room, and we start off with saying the Pledge of Allegiance. And I just did this a couple years ago, and it just hangs on our wall. And then we are also learning the preamble from Schoolhouse Rock, just a YouTube video.
Right. Good old Schoolhouse Rock.
Yes.
Still good.
I learned that in 4th grade, I remember. So I just thought it'd be something fun for them to do.
Yeah.
And then we also are learning the months of the year, and so I just made this poster, and then the kids colored it as well. But we're learning the months of the year, what date it is, so they have a journal entry every morning, and so they can get used to writing out the correct date, and it keeps me aware of what
Right.
day
Right.
it is.
So we don't lose what day it is.
Yes. And the year, and then the days of the week, and then we also added the holidays, so whatever holiday is within the month, and then we have weather. I sort of just tell them if it's going to be hot or chilly, and if it's sunny or rainy, and then we'll eventually go further into weather, like the different types of clouds and
Right.
the water cycle. And then we read a book either once a week or one every 2 weeks. And so right now we are reading the book called Hoot, and they decided on that. I chose Tuck Everlasting for our first book, and they enjoyed that, so they got to choose this one.
Nice.
So, I mean, things aren't anything fancy, but it works for us.
But it works, yeah. And so, how do you choose your topic?
Yeah, I don't know. It just whatever I remember from when I was their age, or I just try to use things that will interest them.
Right.
And things that I like. I like art, and we listen to a lot of music. And we like to read a lot, so
Yeah.
maybe it's a book that they just read and do an activity from that.
Right.
So
Well, and I'm sure animals, things like that, that's always a big hit with kids, right? So really focusing on maybe animals where they live in the world, their habitats, and do things like that with the map. So tell me, is it really important for us to do a full school day saying, oh, okay, look, we're going to get up, we're going to do this, and we're going to go to 3 o'clock? Do you do that, or how do you handle it?
we try to get in that mindset. For example, last week, just one day, we just were not into it at all. I wasn't, the kids weren't.
Yeah.
And so we just ended, we just did a half day, and then we just went for a bike ride just to get out
Yeah.
and do something. So being flexible is definitely helpful. I don't necessarily do time slots, so from 8 to 9 we do English, or
Yeah.
9 to 10 we do social studies or anything like that. I just sort of plan it out to where we know we're going to have morning work, journal entries, workbook, and then we always have reading time, and I try to read a chapter in the book that we're reading, and then they also practice reading themselves, and then they'll do an activity after that, so either a comic strip or character web or something like that, draw a scene from the book that they read, and then we'll do maybe another little activity like pronouns or nouns, spelling, and then math, lunch. So it's not necessarily time slot. So if we don't fit everything into that day, then it could just carry on to the next day.
Okay. So not being so strict with it, being flexible. I know you and I talked about how important it is to be flexible, because this is a flexible time anyway. Nobody's in their real routine. So just kind of letting it flow as it does, and not making it more stressful, right? Than it needs to be. So do you think in this time, like even with us being home because of Corona, is that something that you're working into your school? Have you discussed that? Have y'all talked about that?
The coronavirus?
Yes. And like how we get viruses, is that something you worked in?
No, but that is a good topic. They've heard my husband and I talk about coronavirus, and so they know the term, and they know that they can't go see their friends right now.
Right.
But that's basically the extent of it.
That you've
They
gone
don't
to.
know.
Okay.
They don't really know what's going on in the world.
Right. Well, and I think it's good too, like with this, how you're keeping, some structure, but not a lot of stress with it being flexible, because we don't want them to feel, oh, this is a stressful time. We don't want them to bring that into their lives. At least at my house, that's what I'm trying to do. It's already weird for them, and they already know something's up, so trying to just, get things done, but not be so strict and stressed out about it. So, but I think you always do a great job. Like last week, you were doing the solar system. We had our neighborhood chalk walk, and their driveway was the whole solar system. So you always find really cool ways to bring things in. Every time I go to your house, there's all these cool charts on the board, and they always have responsibilities. So I think, you know, you do a really good job of teaching them, hey, you know, you have to learn these things, but you also have to be responsible little people in the family. They each have things to do, and so I always think you always seem so organized, and they're so little. They're three little people, and you do great with that whole chaos of having three little kids running around. But anyway, well, is there anything else that you want to share, or anything that you think, you know, hey, people are really, don't get stressed out with this. This is a great tip. Is there anything that you can think of?
I think just having a general idea of what you want your day to look like, and then I use Pinterest for a lot of things. I just type in second grade math worksheets, and for example, I've had to create my own worksheets because our printer is at the shop.
Yeah.
And so, and I also did George Washington, so I just drew George Washington, and then they made this poster themselves.
Right.
And we did, you know, another activity with that. So just finding things that work for you. Like, my posters aren't anything magnificent, but I've had this one for a couple years. As you can see, it's torn and everything, but we just keep adding to it. So,
and you just lay out. That's like a geography lesson. So you lay out where the continent, you know, which is on which continent, the states, things like that, with that map.
Yeah, we are building it. So we have the continents and then the oceans, and now we're doing landmarks, just sort of asking where's the Eiffel Tower? Oh, it's in Europe. And then we'll eventually move on to, the other day we were singing the months of the year song on our bike ride, and it's like, do y'all want to hear the states song? And so we're eventually going to learn all the states in America. So just building off of things that I think are fun and interactive.
Right. That's probably really, really important, I would think, especially at those ages. It has to be interactive. You know, we talked about music really, really helps, you know, whenever you're trying to remember something, to kind of put a song to it and put music to it. So that always helps. But also tell me, so do you think, a lot of people might think, well, gosh, I don't have a lot of training in teaching. And I know you did some teaching when you were on the reservation, which is cool, but you don't have like 20 years of experience teaching, right?
No, so I just have 7 with my kids.
Right.
And I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, and then so I would just go to the library and just do different activities with them when they were younger. And now it's easier because the 5-year-old can keep up with 6 and 7-year-olds.
Right.
And we're getting more into reading. Reading, I think, is really important. I have to get on to my 7-year-old to stop reading sometimes,
so nice. Well, that's
he can focus on what we're transitioning into next.
Right.
So I think that is one of my biggest achievements. I think is just incorporating reading. So, and then what they read, they do an activity on. So something that they learn, I like to do an extra activity with. So
yeah. Well, I think just like you said, picking a topic and just, you know, expanding it. Yeah, just expanding it. And it's really cool. I just think even teaching them little bits that they might not learn at school because there just isn't enough time to focus on all that. But now that we're at home, you can really get in and look at details of a story or a character like George Washington that maybe at school we have to, you know, stay so high level because of time constraints. But now you can really teach them
Yeah.
in depth about something. So.
Yeah. And for me, I do like to focus on grammar and writing and punctuation and spelling. But I'm not that big into experiments for science.
For science.
That's just not my strong suit. So I sort of lean towards more creative, make things, posters, and
Right.
so I think teach them sort of what you know, but also teach them something that you may not know a lot of, and then y'all can learn together.
Nice.
So
Nice. Well, and so that makes it not so daunting.
yeah,
Because I'll tell you, sometimes, like even with second grade math, the way that math is done now, I've had to Google it.
I
Be
know.
like, I don't understand what this is. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, maybe just not, just know that they're learning with you and jumping in and just trying to make it fun. So.
yeah. And with math, I allow them roughly 30 minutes on the computer for math. So they use Prodigy, Khan Academy Kids, and Brain Pop Junior for math because I know addition and subtraction.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily know how to teach them
Right.
at that level for
Right.
them to understand.
To really grasp
And
it.
I don't want to get frustrated. Like,
Right.
why do you not understand
Right.
this?
Right.
So I just set them on the computer, and while they're doing that, I go make lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and that way they aren't bothering me, and then they can sit there and focus on what they're learning.
Right.
So they do math online, and that's basically, unless it's a documentary.
Yeah. Right.
That's really all the technology that we use for school.
Right.
I don't like to spend a lot of time on the computer.
Right. Right.
And I don't like them spending a lot of time.
Right. And you're also outdoors a lot. Y'all are outside a lot, playing outside and just
Mhm.
kind of doing the social aspect of being a kid, learning how to play with other kids outside. That's really important too. Even sometimes I think more so than subjects. We just social aspects of being a kid and how to deal with other people. That's really important too. So.
Yeah, it's important for our kids because I feel like we've moved around a lot, and they were all born in Charleston, South Carolina, but our friends at that time didn't have kids, and so it was really just us. And then we moved to North Carolina, and it was the same thing. We were sort of in the middle of nowhere, and we weren't around a lot of people. And then we moved here, and it's just great being in a neighborhood full of other kids,
With kids.
close to school,
Right.
and they know a lot of people in the neighborhood,
Yep.
which I was sort of worried about at first, just because we just haven't really been in a neighborhood around a lot of people before, so that socializing
Yeah.
is good.
Well, and I think, like I said, we have such a great neighborhood. This is such a great neighborhood, and we have so many kids here and our school is great, and so I think it's good that they all get to socialize together. And like you said, people going up and down the street, just hey, everybody knows each other, and it's really what a neighborhood should be, and so it's really cool. But all right, well. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been really helpful. It's helpful for me because I'm telling you, I've been trying to work and juggle homeschooling, and so I've been feeling like a failure at it. So I appreciate your tips and your posters and all these things that you showed us that you make. And I'll put a slide at the end as well with some of the resources that Meritt uses on the computer, places you can go, but everybody watching this should know Schoolhouse Rock, so if you don't, get on there. But it's also fun to relive that because that's a childhood memory for sure. So anyway, thank you so much for coming by. All right, and next time we will tackle a new topic. Take care.